Graphing an equation by plotting points. Well, we can graph intercepts, we can make a table, or in general we can just plot points. We can select points to plot, in other words. Okay, in this case our equation, 6x plus 4y equals 16. Find y when x equals 2. Find x when y equals 1, and sketch the graph. Well, notice that in this case, our equation y equals mx plus b format. Well, this isn't in that particular format, right? It's in the format of 6x plus 4y equals 16. Well, we don't have to solve necessarily every single time. So we can graph through other formats by, in this case, finding just random points. So let's say we select the first case scenario when our x value is 2. All we're doing is substituting the 2 for the x. So 6 times 2 plus 4y equals 16, and let's simplify. 6 times 2 gives us 12, so that gives us 12 plus 4y equals 16. And now let's get rid of the 12 to solve for y, so minus 12 from both sides. And that gives us the 4y equals 4. So now we want to get rid of the 4 from the y. It's multiplying with the y, so let's divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 cancels out, 4 divided by 4 also cancels out. Keep in mind, canceling out means when you're dividing, it gives you a 1 in reality. So you have 1y equals 1, but technically just having a y implies that you have 1y, right? So we have y equals 1. So in this case, we have a coordinate of 2, 1. And there's our first case value. When x is 2, we found out that y is 1. What does that mean about our case 6x plus 4 times 1 equals 16? Do we really want to do it? Notice we already have a y value of 1 up above. The coordinate given to us was 2, 1. We found the value of y equals 1. So that means we would be redoing the work all over. So in this case, we selected 1 for the y and 1 for the x, right? Or x equals 2 and y equals 1. But it turns out that it gave us that the y value are both 1. So we would get that the x value is 2. We don't really want to do the work twice when we already have it above. So let's just reference this out and pick another value. I highly recommend that by avoiding mistakes or errors, you choose either both x's, or both values from the x, or both values from the y, I should say. In this case, choosing opposites, one for the x and one for the y, and a value for the y, just got us into slight trouble, meaning we were going to calculate the same equation all over, or same coordinate point. So instead, let's try another one. Let's try when x is 4 for reference. So 6 times 4, 24, and continue to simplify. Let's get rid of the 24 from both sides to solve for y. So that leaves us 4y equals negative 8. And now let's solve for y by dividing by 4 from both sides of the equation, right? 4 divided by 4 cancels out, leaving us y, just the y value, and negative 8 divided by 4 gives us that y equals negative 2. Hey, look at that, we found a value, or I should say a coordinate point location, from using the x value of 4 and the y value of negative 2. And now we have two different points instead of the same point as would have happened in the previous case that we selected. So this is our second option that we're going to plot, our second coordinate point. So let's plot them then. Let's remember to leave our x and y axis and plot the points now. So our first point there, 2, 1, there it is. Second point, there it is. We have 4, negative 2. And now to trace a line through the point. Full point now. So trace a line through both points, and there is what our graph looks like for this particular equation. Even though we didn't convert it into the form of y equals mx plus v, we can still calculate points and plot the line, right? And just keep it in the form of 6x plus 4y equals 16. So sometimes we avoid doing extra work when we're not required to put in the form of y equals mx plus v by just selecting points and calculating what the resulting input or output would be.